get in the beast. Welcome back, episode 2. In the road to freedom. I'm going to try with this down so that you can see a little better. And today I'm going to talk a little bit about expanding on, you know, the ideas that I dropped last time of like what really got me. Well, what really got me, you know, and how this culture kind of got into my soul. And today I want to talk about, you know, so if you are, I guess what I want to talk about is Evel Knievel. So if you're a little boy in the mid-70s and you're really into cars and motorcycles and whatnot, what was really available to you back then? What was the culture like? And I will tell you right now that the two things that I was really into was getting home so I could see the next episode of Speed Racer that was going to be shown. That was a huge one. And then everything Evel Knievel, because Evel Knievel apparently rode a motorcycle and was the coolest dude ever. Now, that wasn't all the kids I knew. I know my friend George and Punky that I mentioned were real into Spider-Man, and I'm not gonna lie and say I wasn't into Spider-Man. Spider-Man. So, but that being said, woohoo, super fast car. You know, eventually at some point, somebody my age brought up Evel Knievel to me, and then I just became obsessed with it. And so I'm going to tell you everything I knew about Evel Knievel in about, I don't know, 20 seconds. Ready? Here you go. Evel Knievel was the coolest dude ever because he rode a motorcycle and he jumped in his on his motorcycle. He did jumps of which he crashed constantly, and to the point that he had broken every single bone in his body, making him the coolest dude ever. Yeah. That's why he was the coolest dude ever, because he broke all his bones. That's why we thought he was cool. That's all I remember about him, honestly. When I got older, I obviously learned more things about him, but he became significant for me when this Evel Knievel toy came out. So they would show these commercials leading into the holiday season of this Evel Knievel toy that you would put this little flimsy character that was Evel Knievel on this motorcycle, and his hands would kind of fit into the bars. And you would rev it. There was like a handle on the side of this crankcase. You would rev it. The back tire of the bike would spin until it spun so fast that the bike would take off and do, you know, and do flips over itself and crash into stuff and just generally be awesome. And so I went to my Jewish mother and informed her that I only had one goal in life, and that was to get the Evel Knievel toy for Christmas. You can imagine that that was completely ignored. Me not being someone who celebrated Christmas and all. So I must have really been making a stink out of this when I think about it. And I must have been really asking for this thing constantly. And, you know, like most kids, it comes on the TV and you're flipping out. I want that, I want that, I want that. And I wasn't getting it. There's no chance that I was going to be celebrating Christmas and getting a Christmas gift. So I'm feeling kind of down because my friends are telling me they're going to get this thing for Christmas. And, you know, and I'm telling them I'm going to get this thing for Christmas too, except for we don't celebrate Christmas, and it's pretty clear that my mom is not getting me this particular item at any point in my near future. Woo! He whips around a turn. Come on, fools. So, my Uncle Howard steps into the picture, and just to explain how Jewish my family was, like, my Uncle Howard wore a yarmulke everywhere he went. And, you know, spoke Yiddish and all this other cool stuff. Very gentle, loving man. And he wanted to somehow help me with this problem I was having. So I must have been telling him, like, Uncle Howard, I want this Evel Knievel toy. Evel Knievel's the best, and you know, and Mom's not gonna get it for me, and we're not gonna be able to have Christmas, and my friends are all gonna have Christmas, and they're gonna get it. And so Halloween time comes around, and Uncle Howard gets me the Evel Knievel costume. I guess they were trying, you know, he's trying to, like, give me something Evel Knievel that will cause me to let go of this issue. And, well, that was a nice vet. And, now, let me explain to you why this is significant. In the 70s, you did not go out and purchase one of those cheesy costumes with the mask that has a rubber band that falls off the third time you pull it over your head, and what, you know, you just put it on and now you're that character. You did not do that at Halloween. You made a costume. That was the point. Like, how good of a costume could you make? Well, I wanted this chintzy Evel Knievel thing, although I would have definitely settled for Speed Racer. And, you know, it was just basically like this, his costume of the Stars and Stripes, almost like an Elvis outfit with the cape and everything, and then this mask that you pulled over, this, you know, just cheesy, like, 16th of a mask that you pulled over your face, and then bam, you're Evel Knievel. And so I was basically like, I don't care about how things are supposed to be. And he buys me this Evel Knievel costume, and I am now Evel Knievel, and I'm the coolest kid in kindergarten because of it. Thank you very much, Uncle Howard. And I guess this was supposed to, like, calm my issues, my Evel Knievel obsession. So it didn't work. All I did was complain even more after that, but I did add stuff to my list. I wanted the original Batman car, you know, from the original Boof, Bam, Crash Batman show. And if you don't know what I'm referencing, it's just, it's okay. It just means you're not ancient, but talk to someone who is, and they'll help you out. I wanted the Tonka truck. I wanted the Hess truck that you could fill with water and pretend it was gasoline and you were fueling up. But most of all, I wanted this Evel Knievel toy after Halloween, and it did, you know, and I'm going home to watch Speed Racer and pretend I'm Evel Knievel every day after kindergarten ends. And Christmas time rolls around, you know, Jewish people are celebrating differently, of course. And so my mother did the most amazing thing. We did not celebrate the Jewish holiday. She didn't discuss this with me. She didn't talk about it at all. We just didn't celebrate it. And when Christmas time came around, I got a box that I had been waiting for, and it was the Evel Knievel toy. So I'm all excited. I just pulled off the impossible. I got the Evel Knievel toy for Christmas, and I'm Jewish. So I take this thing outside right under Frankfurt Avenue L. I'll never forget this as long as I live. You know, I've owned this toy about 2 full minutes. I pull it out of the wrapper and immediately run down the stairs, take it out front of the stoop, run to the corner, right at Kelly's Corner. If anybody's from Kensington, Kelly's Corner was like literally, 30 yards away. And I cranked the thing on the side. I knew exactly how to use it. I saw the commercial 150 times. I cranked the thing on the side, and it revs up just like in a commercial, and poof, it takes off across Frankfurt Avenue and gets squashed by a car. And I had owned this toy that I had campaigned for about 5 full minutes. Now, I'm saddened. Not crying, just kind of slumped over like, that's it, it's over. Evel Knievel did what he was supposed to do. He tried to jump Frankfurt Avenue, and he broke every bone in his body. That's what he's supposed to do. I guess that was awesome, but it doesn't feel too awesome. And then here comes my Uncle Howard walking up the street. I guess he had decided, even though he was definitely not going to be celebrating Christmas, that he would participate in my mom's Christmas charade, which is kind of funny because my mom had no idea how you celebrate Christmas or like what decorations to put, anything like that. I had no idea. So we just basically had a blank house, and she gave me a gift. That was Christmas, which I actually was totally, excited about until Evel Knievel broke every bone in his little toy body. And then Uncle Howard's coming up. I remember because of the yarmulke. I remember like I could see who it was, and it's my Uncle Howard. I knew his, his walk, and he's coming up, and he, so I tell him. I think actually what really happened was I had the pouty face, and my mom told him, yeah, I gave him the damn toy, and he ran it across Frankfurt Avenue and tried to jump the Frankfurt Canyon and Frankfurt Ave Canyon, and it didn't work out. And my Uncle Howard has a big bag in his hand, and he's like, well, let's go upstairs and see what else Santa got you for Christmas. Because the one person in the world that was cooler than Evel Knievel when I was a 5-year-old was my Uncle Howard. And so this Jewish man in a yarmulke basically played the role of Santa for me, showed up with perfect timing, brought me upstairs, and I'll be damned if he had not purchased me the Batman car. I wish I still had this stuff. This stuff's probably worth hundreds and hundreds of dollars. And I didn't get the Tonka truck that I wanted, but I got the Hess truck. I decided I would not bring them outdoors and run them across the Frankfurt Avenue Canyon. And I had a great winter holiday off playing with my new toys that Santa Howard had brought me. So my question to you is, like, in your environment as a kid growing up with like muscle cars and motorcycles, what were the toys involved in your life that were a part of that? What did you play with? I know when I wasn't much older, mini bikes were the thing in Kensington. Building your own go-karts were a thing in Kensington. What was it that you were doing as a kid that was kind of like the precursor to give me an engine, you'll see I can handle it? What got you there? What were the steps? For me, Evel Knievel was a big part of it, but Uncle Howard was a bigger part of it. So that is the Road to Freedom episode 2, not the Road to Glory, which I said last time, which is pretty freaking hysterical. And please like, share, and subscribe. Check me out on Instagram if you're one of my followers. And I will catch you with the next episode. Peace.